All right, Aussies, this is Spain. And more or less, the whole of Europe kind of looks like this now. Yeah, there are some pockets, but it is growing. Because I've been saying this for a very long time that the people who are destroying Europe want to destroy Australia as well. And guess who those people are? Yeah, there might be some people behind the curtain, but they are pulling the cords of other people who are in front of us. Check out Anthony Albanese. Their sales pitch is always different from what we actually get. Look at this. Australia's the most successful multicultural nation in the world. You know the reason behind that? The reason behind that is Australia is not as multicultural as Spain or the UK or France or Germany. Australia is actually not that multicultural. My eyes opened when I first went to England. I was like, oh my goodness, that's what they mean by multiculturalism. You've got entire towns, entire portions of big major cities like Bradford, Manchester, Birmingham, London, that have completely fallen. You wouldn't find a single British person there. I was like, oh, that's what they mean by diversity, where there's no diversity. You only see a sea of men walking around. So up until now, Aussies thought that, okay, this is multiculturalism. We can eat a kebab. We can go and eat Chinese takeaway. Fine. Yeah, we can occasionally see some Indians dancing in a park celebrating Diwali or Holi or whatever. Let me break it to you, my dear Aussies. That's not multiculturalism, according to them.
This is London, man.
This is
Look
multiculturalism for them.
Can you imagine?
This is it. You don't see.
They are not asylum seeker.
Any British person there. Look at it.
They are not.
Point me a single
Came
British
by
person.
boat
Maybe
in
there
UK.
was one there. Just one British person.
I spoke to them personally. Some of them have British passport. They are British. But what is their problem? Why they are living here?
Will look like this. And as I said, their sales pitch is always different from what we actually get. Look at this. Anthony Albanese here is bragging about multiculturalism. He's saying Australia is the most successful multicultural nation in the world, and our Italian community have been at the heart of that for generations. As if any Aussies are complaining about Greeks or Italians or even Vietnamese people. We're complaining about the influx of jihadis coming in from Muslim countries. That's what we're complaining about. But look at this. Penny Wong. He's also honing in on the same point about multiculturalism. Remember I said that the same people who have destroyed Europe, they're now trying to destroy Australia and using these puppets.
This year's poll shows that whilst social cohesion and public trust is under pressure, Australians still value democracy and multiculturalism.
No, Australians value democracy, not this multiculturalism that you're trying to introduce.
It starts with respecting that multicultural Australia is the only Australia that has ever existed.
That is an absolute lie. Australia had a white policy until the 70s or 60s. Yes, the first non-Anglo people who were coming into Australia were the Greeks and Italians who came after World War II. They became part of Australian society. Why? Because they're not that antithetical to Australian values, which is the same reason why when the Irish or the Germans or the French or the Austrians went to America, they became Americans. They let go of their previous identity for the most part, and they became Americans. The same with Greeks and Italians here in Australia. Yes, they're proud of their Greek heritage, but they're not trying to create a mini Greece or mini Italy in Australia. But guess what? Muslims coming in from Middle Eastern countries, they are doing exactly that.
Just as it says something about Australia that a Malaysian-born woman is standing here as your foreign minister.
Yes, you're a Malaysian-born woman, and you are also a lesbian. And because you appear fully integrated and assimilated, this is the reason why you're here. If you were a Malaysian woman who wore a burqa, kind of like this, check out this Muslim woman. What a disgrace this is, yeah? What a disgrace. Penny Wong would tell us that, oh, there's no difference between her. There's no difference between her and this woman. Look at this woman. She's an Australian too. Now you have Greeks and Italians and Penny Wong, fully integrated and assimilated, okay? I'm not saying that she's not Australian. She is Australian in my opinion. But just because she comes from a different culture, or those Greeks and Italians, and this woman who comes from a different culture, therefore they are somehow equal. No, they're not. Greeks and Italians are not trying to behead us in the name of Allah and to enforce Sharia. Look at this woman.
Celebrating Christmas as a Muslim. This is impermissible because you are engaging in a pagan practice, even if you do not believe in it. If somebody were to worship the devil and they have a ritual every year where they go to somebody's house, is it okay for a Muslim to say, I'm going to go because I enjoy the environment or because my mom asked me to attend? Some might say, are you comparing Christmas to satanic pagan rituals?
Christian.
Yes, I am. Because
she is. She's comparing Christianity to satanic pagan ritual. Christmas. That's blasphemy, isn't it? Aren't these the people who keep telling us, don't say anything about our religion, otherwise we'll behead you? Why are we allowing them to disrespect Christianity? They say, oh, you can't say Jesus is the Son of God. I don't believe in any of that, but let's be logically consistent here. How can you attack one of the most fundamental beliefs of Christianity, that Jesus is God or Jesus is the Son of God? You can attack it. You can attack and mock Christianity all you want, and we can't say anything in return without being accused of Islamophobia or bigotry or racism. You know what? These ideas are conflicting. They don't work. And these people have proven that they don't fit to live in a free, liberal, secular democracy. They don't. The only logical conclusion to this is deportation. So let's talk about multiculturalism, yeah? They always show us the face of Greeks and Italians as successfully integrated and assimilated multicultural people, yeah? People from other cultures. Look at this. This just happened yesterday in Craigieburn, a suburb of Melbourne. African migrant youths have terrorized Craigieburn Central. Our shopping center. This is happening in our shopping centers, guys. This is completely foreign. This didn't used to happen. Forcing it to be locked down after gunshots and a machete fight. Two groups of youth, some as young as 14. And guess what? We can't try them because they are young kids. Little did they know that kids from third world countries act like full-on adults. I know that. A 15-year-old Pakistani boy from a village, he ain't a kid. He's seen too much already. Some as young as 14 faced off inside the shopping center about 7 p.m. At least 2 shots were fired. Large machetes were brandished in front of terrified families with prams. Shoppers fled in panic in Craigieburn. Not that it was Toorak or anything, but still, you could go to any suburb of Melbourne. This didn't used to happen, but it happens all the time. Look at this. Look at that. This is happening. In broad, this is happening everywhere. Look at that. Swords. This is Craigieburn Central. Scary situation. Security asked to lock down the shops. As if it's a war zone, guys. What have we imported? And this clown is saying, look at this. Italians. Multiculturalism is working, isn't it? Tell us about your African imports, Albanese. Tell us about your jihadis that you are importing. I'm not exaggerating. Look at this. 8 African boys charged with murder. 0 press conferences by the government.
Charged with murder over the 3 18-year-olds and a 17-year-old are the latest 4 people to be charged with murder over the death of 21-year-old John Cockatoo. The group of 4 arrested.
For the most part, they're killing each other, by the way, but it's only a matter of time when you and I are going to get caught up in this.
Overnight from an address at Moray Field. The 3 18-year-olds, Benito Bacania.
Look at that 18-year-old boy.
Morad George and Jason Marrick, and a 17-year-old who can't be named for legal reasons. They bring the total number of people now charged over this young man's death to 8 in total, all teenagers. The other 4 were arrested last week in a series of police raids across the city. All 8 of them are now charged with murder. The incident in question occurred around 2 weeks ago in the suburb of Bars Scrub, south of Brisbane. Police say a party was taking place at an Airbnb when around 2 a.m. a carload of other people pulled up. From there, a fight broke out between the 2 groups and spilled out onto the street, one that police have actually described as an all-out brawl. The number of separate altercations breaking out.
Seen enough. Not interested in their reasons. And when we're not being hacked to death, when we're not cowering and scampering out of our nice day at the shopping center, we have these retards.
We're students from Flinders University and we'll be protesting One Nation and Pauline Hanson next Thursday the 13th at 1 p.m.
Pauline Hanson is a fascist. She's been nostalgising for the White Australia policy and calling for mass deportations.
The way things are going, I'm nostalgising the White Australia policy. Seriously. Look, I genuinely believe 95% of Australia should be white. It's a privilege to live in this great society that these people built. And only a select few people who can prove their worth should be allowed to live in any of these developed societies. These societies became developed because of their cultural values. And then they got to the stage where they thought, oh, anyone can do this. You know what? If you look around the world, only a handful of countries can be described as successful, developed, prosperous countries, mostly Western European countries, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa used to be that, but then not going there. And America and Canada. That's it. That's it. Tiny little section of Western Europe, and include Poland as well. Now Eastern Europe is included in that too, after they got rid of communism. Europe, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. That's it, guys. Everything else is either a middle-income country or below. Third world. Creating successful, prosperous countries is a rarity. It's an exception, not the rule. So what happens when you bring in those people who could not build up their own society? Yes, there will be select few brilliant people, because building up a country as a successful country requires a team effort. A lot of people, millions of people have to take part in that. So there could be some brilliant people within those societies as well. And I'm okay with that. Bring them in. But they have to prove their worth. Are you a scientist? Have you invented something? Are you an exceptional doctor? Do you have something that we as a society need? If you don't have it, we don't want you, because you're going to bring in your values that ruined or could not build your own society. So why should we bring them? And this is exactly what's happening. It is not up for debate anymore. Stats after stats show this. Even in Western countries, look at this. When they move to the West, this is how they behave. Look at this. I was going to make a separate video on this, but look at this. I have to talk about this. Before I play you this next video, look at this. When these people come to developed countries, this is what they do. Look at this. This is Birmingham. This is Birmingham.
So guys, this is a park just off the Dudley Road in Birmingham by Winston Green. This is a children's park. Have a look at
White
this.
people did not do this. White people did not do this.
Don't forget, guys, don't forget to pay your clean air zone, yeah? Yeah? And your council tax. Just pay your council tax. You know, for people to come and dump all the rubbish. Look at this.
Another dirty UK Muslim area.
This city in the UK. Look at the fucking state in it.
Cultures matter, guys. Cultures matter. If Pakistan is dirty, Bangladesh is filthy, then what do you think is going to happen when you bring in more of those people? I am from that part of the world, so I can confidently say that dirty people bring their dirty habits with them. And look at this. This is Paris. This is Paris. Look at that. And again, you can see there are no white French people around. Look at that. This is Paris. This is freaking Paris. So, we've been talking about this, and visually, a lot of people have noticed that clean streets of Europe are no longer clean. So maybe the government has decided to do something. Watch this next video. A council litter officer was just doing his job and then gets racially abused by Muslims, the usual suspects. Watch this. He tells these people you just threw cigarette butts out. Watch their reaction. They're like, huh? What do you mean? You're not allowed to do it?
I'm an enforcement officer on behalf of Dudley Council. Okay. I do need to speak to you both. The cigarettes that you both took out the car window, because it is a littering offence.
What's happened? What's happened? Hello? Everybody throws
Just
cigarettes.
give me some space.
Where does it say that you can't throw cigarettes?
It's a criminal offence.
Okay. Move from my property.
Look.
Move from my property now.
I'm going to call the police.
You can't move off. Move off my property. You white mother.
Listen.
Then you go.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at these barbarians.
Listen.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm going. I'm going.
Roger, my name's Inspector Sandhu. We need to come in and speak with you, okay? You going to open the door or am I going to have to kick this in? Yo, okay, because I've been asking loads. What are you doing? Okay, I said 3 or 4 times. I said, okay, 3 or 4 times.
Well, not so brave now. Send in special forces, house to house, door to door. Bring back the Gestapo. Have to do it.
To open the door, and no one opened the door. Okay. Okay, sit down for me, sir.
Sit down.
Sit down for me, sir.
Oh, God, I so want to be a dictator for 1 year. I want to be a dictator.
And just confirm this to the other gentleman.
Yes.
Oh, he got charged with racially aggravated assault because he said white mofo. Oh, suspended sentences. Of course, no justice. No justice. Australia, this is coming if it's not already here. You know, go to Bankstown. This will happen to us. This will happen to you. This will happen to normal Aussies. And this horrible melon prime minister, he tells us everything's fine. Multiculturalism is beautiful. Look at these beautiful Italians. Yeah, our Italian community have been at the heart of that for generations. The sales pitch, Italian grandmas. The reality we get, African teens terrorizing civilians with machetes and guns. We're not angry enough. I said this before. Spanish women are now crying, literally crying. I played it in another video. They're crying because of the inundation of third world migrants into Ceuta, Spain. 15 girls and women have been raped in about a week. That's just been confirmed officially. The actual number must be really, really high. But now women are sending their kids to mainland Spain. Yeah. But because most Spanish didn't say anything when Pedro Sanchez legalized 500,000 illegal migrants. We need to speak more. Otherwise, this is going to happen on a much larger scale when we wouldn't even have the numbers to take control of the situation. It's scary. It's very scary.